Am I alive? Am I alive? Am I alive? Oh, I'm live. I'm live. Okay. I can see the chat showing. Oh. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But the fact that the chat actually shows, so that's good. That's good. I remember you, Genesis. This is like actually the best meme that came from Undertale. What the fuck? You can hear the music that I put in. Can you hear it? Oh! Crypto! Crypto! I mean, us Russians don't really have problems with that, but oh! Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Uh, let's loop play once more, and then I'll actually get to the lore dumping, or as lore dumpy as I can get, because it is pretty much very much improvised. Oh! Oh god. Alright, let's fucking start. I know this is the thing that actually happens, but still. Alright, here is my birthday stream. Welcome to my fucking birthday stream, where I get to be the most selfish person there'll ever be. And well, by selfish I mean to actually get what the fuck is going on with Aleph lore. And well, since people who watch the streams also are pretty much acutely aware of my community post, came out as woman's Pucci chain. Community posts, and I started to get more open about my original works. Well, first of all, it was Tatarigami, well, Tatari no Gatari, which is like supposedly a horror visual novel, which, well, its existence was pretty much sparked due to, you know, some of the characters being my actual Lennon fan characters, some of which were literally just appeared literally in my dreams. But then I decided to repurpose them because, well, I'm not the type of person who likes to step on Kainan's toes a whole lot. Alright, I'll place the girly a little bit lower. Alright, so the first picture is quote unquote cover of the Maho. Which, since it was a school project, I pretty much made it so, you know, it was made in Russian. Appeared in my dreams, Mukai Pile character creation, yeah. I mean, Hibana literally just appeared like that, so you know. How it did appear, it literally came into my dreams. and so that's why there's like a fuck ton of Russian text. Because it was supposed to be a cover for my novel. This one cool. Yeah, like, the reason why Lucy, yeah, the character's name is Lucy, is literally just because I thought double guns are just kinda cool, you know? America cool, which is ironic and well, ironic considering you added, but she's pretty much Irish core. And I don't know why the fuck I have so many Irish, but I don't know, I just felt like it. Again, I'm not really even familiar with fucking Irish culture. The most I know is that they're funny dance, and they have a lot of fucking ginger people, and you know, the famous Irish people I know is Ella Smock and Big Yellow. Yeah. Those are two Irish people that I know of. And that's it. Anyway. Арка избытка магии. This is translates to magic overflow arc. I'll type it out because you might not. Блять. Fuck, I need to set my fucking keys. My hotkeys. Because, well... Oh. What the fuck do you mean loading? Big Yellow being the only Irish person you know is hilarious, yeah. Now I said those fucking keys correctly. Magic overflow arc. No, it's a club, not a spade, but I don't know, my god shit. Well, you are a Tatsuya fan, so you know, I don't really blame you, but still, you're like Mukai fan, you should have known it. That's literally just a character who is literally just suit of cards. But yeah, she does have, you know, the four-leaf clover. I don't really see it because, well, I do stream from my tiny ass window that doesn't fucking show me anything properly. And I need to fucking find the fucking image slideshow. Yeah, here it is. So I could zoom in on her face. Here she is, the little girl. British person who's never played the cards in my life, kill me now. And well, this text over here, this is what I'll type out the translation. The derirative part of the demonic act series. magical ballistic trajectory or something. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. And let me translate this text. Again, I was doing this for my school project, so I had to use Russian language. This text, like, you know, about the kanji, I'm currently translating it and putting it in the chat. Well, Maho actually translates to just magic, but I decided to, you know, separate the meanings. Because, well, if you take them as separately, it would be Ma, which is, you know, demon, and Ho means an act. And, you know, you could take act as, you know, two ways, but, you know, act in this context just means a declaration or something. Like law, you know? Alright. This is the demonic act, illusionary crying princess. And this is dreamless fantasy of lying with diamonds. So yeah. And since I presented this project, my school project, when I was in 11th grade, which is, I forgot when it was, I need to look up my original document when I actually made this. Because I did type out the date, I just forgot which date it was. I made this in 2021. So I was the first one to use all 6 letters. Zoom wishes he could replicate my fucking power. He ripped me off. And the text on the quarter is just, well, Sector Aleph. Because that was my previous quote-unquote name. Also, that really means that I didn't really fucking hide my my identity. Well, technically I only just wrote it, you know, in Russian letters, but at the same time, oh god, I feel like, you know, it is inevitable that my English teacher, you know, oh, I wonder how my student was, you know, she was one of my favorites, and I want to check out how she's doing. And so she stumbles across these monstrosities that you're watching right now, and she's like, oh. I'm a goblin country champion. I mean, yeah. This is where people contain me. And, well, I will discuss Lucy's design a little bit later. You know, the overall design. But I will explain the butterfly wings, which, well, often calls her a fucking chimpo. Anyway, this wing, you know, with the wing with eyes, it was supposed to represent Ashlyn. Why they produced 30 Ian boxes? yeah. Why they producing 30 encapsuling boxes? Ego box. Yeah, you. Fuck, I fucking forgot. I thought Ian meant encapsuling, and I was like, yeah. We do get encapsuling, so you know. This wing, which, well, admittedly, you know, I wish it was much more bluer, because it's purplish blue, and that's not really what I wanted at all. Because, well, this was supposed to represent Sterling. And this wing, which admittedly looks way more wilder than this wing, so it was supposed to be this wing where the shit hits the fan. Anyway, this wing represents Sage. And this wing represents, well, in the picture she is called Titania, but now she is called Elyria. So yeah, that was the cover of my, well, technically the first entry of Maho project. Let's see. Here is Lucy. And technically I really could have just, search for the photos, and I technically could, but it will take a bit of time, so I just want to explain, and then if we have enough time and you guys aren't dead by this point, which, well, I mean, I will yap a lot, and I have like a fuck ton of characters and a lot of inspirations, or for some inspirations that are really stupid, but yeah. This is Lucy Fortune. And there's my shitty Russian handwriting. And I like to explain my shitty writing by me being a semi-decent artist, so Those 3 dragon heads, and I'm sorry that those look nothing like dragons. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to draw dragons. Блядь. I almost fucking dropped my lamp. This is Wilson. This is Wilson. This is William. And this is Willis. And those are supposed to represent like 3 aspects through 3 wheels, they're called. But currently I just kinda forgot what they actually mean now. The community is going to cancel you for this one, yeah! Never mind the fact that I already made a little bit more derogative comments towards them. Oh no. Lucy, pacifist, oversleeps, just wants to be much more feminine. And she is a witch of light and luck. Which, well, the light is inherited from her mother, and the luck part is inherited from her father. This is mom, and this is dad. Those are her guns. Which, well, in her origin story on how the fuck does she have guns? Well, those were supposed to be her dad's guns. He wanted to, I guess, a cosplay as Dante and shit. Because, well, he is a bit of a solo person. And, well, he has throwing knives, etc, etc, etc. And he wanted to, have a much more convenient weapon. But, well, he's a bit of a dumbo, so he pretty much left a child near firearms that are easily fucking accessible. Like, thank God they're not loaded, because it could have just ended in total disaster. But, well, technically both of them represent luck, so And so, those weapons resonated with her. And, well, you can't really unresonate the weapon. Well, the only way how you unresonate the weapon when the weapon detaches from its owner is really if the user just really detaches, like, to the point of forgetting that they even have this weapon completely. To the point, if you, like, remind them, they would like, what the fuck you're talking about? And not like, oh, I fucking remember. Like, it either takes owner to completely abandon the weapon to the point of forgetting that of its existence, or, well, the owner fucking dies, so he can't really just, no, Lucy, please give daddy his guns. So she pretty much has them as her weapons. She is a dual wielder. And, well, those at least for her specifically, those guns are very, very light. And overall, the weapons of owners are very light for them to pick up. Like, it's actual paperweight. It's actual paperweight. Oh my god, it's Glimmer of Eyelash. It's gonna send down UK lane on me. Yes, she will. Yes, she will. But for others, they actually retain their own quote-unquote original weight. So if I were to pick up her guns, they would feel pretty heavy on me because I have very noodle arms. I have no strength behind me. So they would really feel very clunky to for me to use, and you know, keeping it my hands straight, it would be very difficult. Also, yes, I did experience firearms, but no, not really the real deal, but like a replica, because well, we have the classes where you know you're taught about self-defense a little bit, just a little bit. ОБЖ, так называется. And this is Grimoire. That's where you can technically store all your weapons when you're not using them, and then you just carry the Grimoire. And that's where you also record the demons inside of them for you to summon, to use their favors. Or just, you know, to type out some... to write down some spells that you need to remember. And well, those familiars, they are not actually... Well, they're supposed to be available to her, like they were supposed to be by her side from the very beginning, but I realized that would put her way too above the board compared to her classmates. So I decided to, you know, move them further in the story. Like, those were supposed to be her, you know, guardian figures, you know? And well, she will meet them later in the story. And I actually made a very hard-hitting fan, 8-foot plate fan art, my side art of them, but that'll wait, if you guys are still fucking alive. 3 following Pokemon! Wait, did I fucking... wait, what's that? No. Oh god. It scrambled the order fucking again? Oh, that won't do, that won't fucking do. Because it wasn't supposed to scramble the order like this. It really wasn't supposed to be like this. What the hell? And you currently saw my fucking king very old odds of Toho. My very first fan art of Toho. Which technically I already showed like a fuck ton of times, but whatever. I thought if it used directory it would have actually worked properly, but no. It didn't fucking work properly. It decided to say, you know what, Aleph, fuck you, go die. And I made that when I was like in 5th grade. Like, even by then I was very much still better at Oh no! You like wings, yeah. Again, I will try sorting out the pictures. Like, there's like a fucking 23 of them by order, and then others are going to be be out of order, you know, just miscellaneous illustrations that I made either of Maho or, you know, something like this, or of my older property. So there will not be tatarigami because, well, explaining tatarigami would also take like a fuck ton of time, and explaining. Can she beat Koshi? Who can beat Koshi? I have a lot of she's. Do you mean Lucy? Do you mean this girl that is shown here? Because, well, no, not really. Well, she's a child, so she is probably able to see her, and her light magic. Also, fuck, I didn't fucking elaborate on her light magic. Well, what her light magic entails, and the reason why she is a pacifist in the first place, is that her light magic can technically nullify other magic. The woman on the screen, she is a child! This is not a woman, this is a girl. And how it works is that, you know, when she shoots at the opponent, their mana starts to decrease, like, at an increased rate. Like, she saps away at their mana. Well, she doesn't actually leech the mana. That's not something that she can do. That's not how her powers work. But basically, you know, no, that way she can resolve conflicts more or less peacefully. You know, not actually dealing any substantial injuries. And so she pretty much, you know, she can technically make people kinda calm. Like, I'm sorry to kinda bring this shit up, because I know the creator of this series is a very shitty person. Well, not really shitty, but still very shitty. But do you guys remember episode Raised? And there is a main character, Molly. Well, Lucy's powers can kind of work like this as well for some characters, like Edri, who is her best friend, because, well, she is suffering from magic overflow, where she has way too much mana for her body to handle. Yeah, it's mana drain, but not mana sucking. I'm sorry. I think. Oh god, I will say a very mean joke, but I think Megapig will complain about the stream. Is that I didn't took care of, you know, people who have light sensitivity. Wait, I didn't have a fucking 11? Okay. Where is the mana stored? Basically all around your body. Like, if you're a magician who can actually cast magic, then your body as a whole is just, you know, pretty much covered in mana. And from it, you can cast your magic. And sometimes you would concentrate your mana on conductors or weapons. Like, you would focus all of your energy on the weapon, and, you know, that would have enhanced effects. And while you can technically go weaponless, some magic just will fuck up. Like, if you want to launch some fireballs, then, well, fuck, your body is kinda screwed. Unless you have a very strong mana training, which, you know, negates the pain unless you're cursed, which I will elaborate further on that. But basically, being cursed sucks because, well, your powers are just working pretty much against you. No, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. I'm too lazy. And, well, I don't really want to. No! No! Fuck, I'm sorry to drag on this, but fuck. But but while I'm currently trying to sort out my fucking images, because, well, I thought, again, I linked the directory on the image slider, and I thought it would work correctly, but no, OBS decided to, you should kill yourself now, to me. But it's just a mild inconvenience. It's not like Tumblr fucking deleting my blog, so you know. So I can't really stay too much mad at the OBS. Other platforms did infinitely worse things to me. Anyway, about her design. Initially, she wasn't even supposed to be a magical girl. She was supposed to be a detective character. And I wanted to portray this detective character on the reception. Though it was kinda shitty of me because, well, I was basically plugging my characters into the reception prompts, and that was not really cool. I mean, if I actually saw this shit happen from the future, like me from the future going to the past, and so past me doing this shit, I would have actually said, dude, please stop that. That's not cool. That's like actually breaking of the rules, and overall it's just annoying. But basically, when I was drawing this detective character, I ended up making that detective character a little bit too young looking. And so I decided to draw just a generic magical girl instead. And that's how Lucy ended up being. And I would have actually elaborated more on that project, on that other thingy about why she is a detective, why she was supposed to be a detective. But basically, the gist of it, well, one of the idols pretty much became very fucked up. Like, do you guys know Bad Girl from No More Heroes? Yes, that's basically her. And this investigator was supposed to, actually arrest her for her crimes against humanity, like selling drugs and creating drugs and pretty much doing human trafficking and shit. But yeah, it's just pretty much, she was pretty much appeared by a sheer coincidence. And I kinda actually like how she pretty much turned out. I really like her colors, her color scheme. And well, and I will admit I don't really like some color schemes of some of my characters, but this one just feels perfect, you know? Plus, the design overall just is so good. I would say it's very simplistic and very contrasting. Like you have this bright dress and the bright shirt, but you also have like blue scarf with dark greens, which supposed is signifying her much more melancholic side. And then are her, her tights and boots, which, also so leans into her seeking more of a comfort, just more of a practicality in her life. Which, well, she is technically based off baby me, so, Also, that's why she suffered. Yeah, Lucia is going to suffer a lot throughout this project, being stuck in pretty much a death loop and all. Well, technically not stuck, considering her mother is trying to bail her out, but still. That's pretty much the gist of it. Like if you die, that's technically canon. That's technically canon, because that actually happened. That she did die. But, no, her mother would actually reset the timeline, and, she would be alive and kicking. Alright, I think I already sorted the shit out. Maho so good it was, but yelpo. Alright, now the pictures are in order. This is speaking easier. And I think I pretty much explained all of it. Also, hair clips are just, another thing to point out her femininity. But also, she... Well, aside from her freckles, I think I pictured them, or didn't I picture them? See, she died just like Clover and Kanako and Yuchi. See, Maho is fast Yuchi yellow. Alright, I don't think I pictured her freckles, but those hair clips are just meant to represent her much more feminine side. She's a bit of a tomboy, but at the same time, not really. She wants to be much more girlier. And there was supposed to be a dramatic reason why she wants to be a girly, but I decided to cut this plot out, and I think I'll explain it later. Wait, I think I will actually forget to explain it, so I will explain it now. So basically, there was a cut plotline of, demonic angst, as I would like to call it. Basically, the demons that caused Fortune family to have luck was supposed to be a much more bigger focus on the story. Clips the bullets. And that the demon of luck would pretty much haunt the family. He would pretty much, use, well, how do I say this? Use female people or family. That's why her previous mother isn't around anymore, and that's why Fortune is very overprotective of Lucy. He pretty much, had tried to make her much more like a boy, so so the demon of Fortune wouldn't, or demon of luck wouldn't fucking get hurt her, or well, use her. Like to the point of even cutting her breasts out when they started developing, but then I decided, well, this shit is too shit. Well, first of all, this shit is too shitty, that's the first, and second of all, well, it's too edgy, so And she was supposed to have gloves as well, and glasses. And I need to dig up my old art as well, like her first art, her first appearance in my artworks. To show you her first design, where she had freckles, she had glasses, and she had, gloves. Mahu was so good, Daisuke, I think, reversed it and called character Bridget. Alright, now we can fucking move on. This is big easier, and that's when I tried to make a game. And I think once I'll actually upload my video, again, I am going to, just adjust some timings and maybe just touch up, make some touch-ups on the final part. because, well, I did rush it, so you know. And after I'll finish this video, I will actually start working on at least a trial on the demo version of Maho. But the first boss is going to be in Big Inizio. This is like the first boss of the Inizio. Of the Maho. Or, well, the first entry of Maho. Yeah, I was pretty much inspired by Slice, but, you know, this thingy that, you know, where he spawns a shit ton of slimes from, was inspired by one very obscure RPG and very kinda crappily made RPG as well, but still. When it's your TC. Oh no. And so I tried to design his patterns. And well, that's when Maho was supposed to be, you know, much more like Kiki Kaikai or Poki and Rocky type of game. But then I realized that I wouldn't be able to make a good stage design because I am very fucking experienced and I don't really want people to go through Lennon again. And in the sense of gameplay wise, not story wise. But yeah, he is pretty much the demon of beginnings. Also, I realized that my model is kinda laggy. Is my model laggy? Poki and Rocky mentioned, yeah. Poki and Rocky. I wish I didn't have fucking skill issue. He's a demon of beginnings and well, I will actually elaborate on this concept, but basically you did read the Lyria's origin story. So it does lag, so well, goodbye Dizzy. You're no longer needed. Keys. Also, yes, it was a face cam this whole time. This is how I look. I deluded you that goodbye Dizzy deported. So there is a if you let you're the hand of the keys, I am the keys. This is my mom wrangling me, by the way. Also, well, if you let the origin story of Lyria, and that's where, you know, lore appears on this channel, well, there is a concept of merged consciousness. Basically, because, well, lore is a one lazy motherfucker, he pretty much uses, you know, dead people who died in the state of despair. He pretty much, you know, makes them their own. You two look so alike. Fun fact, I actually look more like my dad, and my dad isn't here. Oh no. Because Loris is lazy motherfucker, he just uses other people, and since those people used to be alive, well, at first they would retain some of, like the majority of their consciousness. Like they would forget their identities, but their personalities wouldn't really disappear, at least for a bit. Or their desires would be left over. They just won't remember for shit what their name was like, what their food was like, what their age was like, etc., etc. And so, depending on demon's age, demon could either act way too human-like or way too savage. And Elyria, well, she lived for quite a while. She was sealed for quite a while, so she's pretty much a massive savage by this point. But there will be a character who recently gained a form. While the demon itself is still not reincarnated, they did find a fitting form. Asian family call. And but they did actually ended up taking a form of a human victim. It's not technically my birthday. My birthday was like 10 days ago. My birthday is actually on October 2nd. It's just I couldn't make a stream on this day because, well, I am having a birthday party. That's the first, and second of all, it fell on Wednesday, my dudes, so I couldn't stream. I don't stream on weekdays. I stream on the weekends. Oh, but no! Don't fucking leave! Don't fucking leave! Так. So this is so basically they took over their body and they started to have emotions and wants of their victim. And well, it wasn't like they didn't eat it. And they actually, took over the body of victim out of sympathy. In fact, this demon wasn't the one who killed the human. It was other humans who were pretty much gouging their organs out. And well, demon he was like, oh, what the fuck? Get out of my fucking property. And was like, oh god, poor kid. Also, yes, that human victim is actually a child. I'm sorry. I can't help but write dark stories. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. So yeah. And well, Inicio, well, he is a demon of beginning. Well, this demon was slayed quite a lot. So, when the original concept, and in fact, original concepts are pretty much feral in their nature and just based on the consciousness of many, but the mold is the consciousness of one, so they ended up having a merger. And the longer they live, because well, the original personality is getting overwritten by the conscious of many. And Inicio is just kinda halfway through that. There is a person behind him. Well, technically before, not really, but now he has. But I didn't really render his human design, so Womp womp. Alright, this is Ashlyn. Or at least her initial design, that I didn't really like now. I don't really like now. Ashlyn McCarthy, oh fuck. What the fuck is the... Oh, heal this. Ashlyn McCarthy, Vision Witch, Charming Beholder's Eye. Well, I do draw problems with it because it doesn't really fit her personality, at least her current personality. Because I feel like this is the character I struggle the most because, well, she's supposed to be a jerk type of character, but I ended up making her a bit of a very toxic bitch, and that makes you wonder, excuse me, but why the fuck does she have friends? Because, well, she screws over like everyone, literally everyone for no apparent reason. Because again, she was supposed to be friends with Lucy, Sterling, Link, and Adri, or at least begrudging friends, but she treats them like shit. And not to mention how she treats the fifth girl, that I will also reveal later. Plus, well, she's supposed to be much more responsible now, so yeah, I decided to redesign her. So we'll actually skip a little bit forward. You'll wait. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I need to zoom out. Because I did put her redesign in the folder. Or at least in my collection of images that I want to show. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. This is now her current design that I'm currently sticking with, but I might actually also redesign this also. Because, well, I want her to be much more spunky. She was supposed to be like the most physically capable of the group. Well, not counting the fifth girl, because, well, she is from a harsher place, so you know. Also, instead of McAfee, it's Ashley Dwight. And I actually wanted to change her name too, but I decided to go against it because, well, the meaning behind Ashlyn, or Ashlink, but now I refer to her as Ashlyn. Well, it is quite pretty, so you know, I decided to leave it in. Like, I wanted to make a much more girlier girl who has that contrast with the eye scepter that she has now here. And well, another reason why I didn't like her design all that much, then whatever the fuck this latation is. Yeah, I think that's called pigeon toad, so you know. Like, I heard that was like from kinda the design thingy, but it discusses May from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that she is much more girlier than May from original Ruby and Sapphire. Well, another reason is that I don't really like her design is just how way too overt it is, you know? Like, I'm not fond of this eye here, I'm not fond of this heart here. And well, those pockets are kinda way too much of a minor thing here. What's the eye thing? Oh, it's related to her ability as a vision witch, which, well, she can pretty much create illusions, and I actually want to give her another title. from another title, which is Ace of the Brian Magic School, because well she is the best performing student here, because well she pretty much fucking worked hard for this shit, and well there are 4 ways to get the powers to become a magician. First of all is that you have to be blessed, which means you have much more natural magic like fire, water, light, just basic ass elements, Then you pretty much get them from the devil, and then they grant you powers. Then you train yourself for this shit, and this is the case with Ashlyn. And well, there's the second party will be actually relevant later. And fourth is, well, you get cursed, and this is like the worst outcome for you, even worse than having to train your shit together. So yeah, John's Mercury, yeah, that thing. So yeah, and those green and red eyes, well, the green ones are harmless, and the red ones are the ones that harming you, and that is admittedly and shamefully are inspired by Deltarune, specifically Javel's fight, because well, I designed her when, before chapter 2 rolled around, and I guess I have a very unpopular opinion, but I think Javel is just better than Spamton. I'm sorry. I think Javel is cool, but Spamton, I'm not feeling Spamton actually. In fact, I actually found him annoying, and I think that was the intended effect, just us finding this fucking shit annoying, but people just get too overfixated on him, and I just like, oh. Which is funny that didn't exactly happen with Javel. I mean, people were fixating on him, but it wasn't on the level of Spamton, Green Eye Jealousy and Evil Eye exist. oh. And basically, one of Javel's attacks was the carousel, and basically the pony ones, the pony carousels were harmless, but the duck ones are the ones that can actually harm you, and that's where I got the idea for Ashlyn. And Another thing is that she also pretty much was inspired by Christmas lights. And not technically Christmas lights, but in Russia at least, there are green and red lights. Like, you have this box thingy, and when you turn it on, it pretty much starts a fucking light show, and it's always red and green, and they move very much sporadically and create various funny patterns. And that's where the whole idea of Ashlyn was born, Not only because I wanted a rival type of character, but also, and just a girly joke, but also just literally because Christmas lights. Just literally because Christmas lights. This is her grimoire. Also, the reason she has those weird eyes. Also, I hate that Mesmerizer made hypnotism and overall spiral imagery way too mainstream. But basically, her eyes turn green when she's actually using her powers. Because otherwise, her eyes are just, just dark brown. She's supposed to be just much more regular, much more down-to-earth type of character. And now I'm kinda thinking that I would write her in a bit of a kinda that tries to be your older sister type of character. Just thinks that she can do it better, but in actuality, no, she doesn't. It's funny how much more Lord Spamton got in comparison to Jewel. Oh yeah, that too. I think that's also the reason why Spamton is just generally much more popular than, no Jewel. And also, there was also her initial prototype, but I have to again dig through my very old arts. And that would that would take a while. But she looked drastically different, and she was acting drastically different. She was supposed to be much more energetic type of girl who was like, Lucy, I love you! And Lucy was like, please, bitch, what the fuck? But now she's much more tsundere towards Lucy. Like, it's not like I fucking care about you, fucking bitch, or anything. It's not like I actually have the secret crush on you and I'm trying to cope with you dating another girl with dating a guy who isn't even fucking interested in me. And this is the guy who isn't interested in me. This is Stolling. He's an orphan. And I don't really like his design either. Also, yes, now that this bitch is blessed. And well, Lucy has both blessing and technically a hereditary curse, so you know. Well, technically luck isn't a curse, more so like a hereditary demonic magic that pretty much stains the Fortune family, so you know. Thespian Lex, yeah. Yeah, we're here for the girls, Anyways, Sterling is an orphan. And well, there is the backstory that, well, he is technically not even, from this village. He is from another village that got fucking destroyed. Fatherless and motherless. Yeah. He is indeed fatherless and motherless. And well, his village was pretty much destroyed, and he is technically the only survivor on the site, because everyone else, well, they either burned or they got gored to death, so you know. Everything was literally just fucking nuked in his village. And his mother, well, I will actually tell the backstory, because unfortunately, unlike Popfun, unlike Jinx, unlike Zune, I cannot keep secrets. Because, well, it's not like I'm going to actually finish this shit. I doubt that I will ever finish this shit. So I will spoil fucking everything. Or at least, like, spoil, like, the important bits. And, well, Sterling, his mother, was actually a candidate for the Guardian title, which is like something that Soul currently is, and now she's chilling with Lauren trying to fucking play his death game. But basically, her mother retired, she failed the test, and so she decided to settle down back in her home village, with her husband, etc. She basically loved her son. Fucking, well, his parents aren't actually the ones that aren't shitty. So yeah, Cutting on floor wiki writers are gonna do it good. Yeah. So yeah, he literally is the only one who has actually not shitty parents. Like, Lucy's are just neglectful. Like, her mother, Val cares about her, and she does try to fucking save her from a fucked up sheep demon. Well, she cannot physically be for her. She cannot really do that, even though she did really love her very much. But her father, yeah, he is a bit neglectful. He's a bit of a fucking dumb bitch. So, he is way too fucking busy being ambassador and crap. Ashlyn's, well, her mother was pretty much abusive towards her, and her father, tries to to kind of remedy this ultimately is way too weak. So pretty much that left Ashlyn with overcompensation issues. Archie, well, her father is fucking dead, and her mother pretty much, forces her to study hard. In fact, the reason why the first Maho happened is just because, well, she wants to return Archie back to her home country because, well, she is an exchange student. The exchange student because of a contract, and well, her mother wasn't fucking happy with her results in that school because they, unlike teachers in her home countries, they actually kind of give a shit about her poor health and her overall condition. Also, Audrey was actually stillborn, and the reason why she is kind of weird, having purple hair and all, is that she was stillborn, and well, her mother was distressed, and so she made a contract with the power demons, and thus she pretty much now suffers from magical overflow. So basically, magic does support her life, but at the same time, that leaves her fragile as fuck, and she needs to keep her magic levels in check, or else she will die. So yeah. And well, the fifth girl, which is Sardana, well, again, her mother is... also Adrian's stepfather also doesn't really pay attention to her because, well, he's a captain of the float, so he doesn't really pay attention to her. Plus, he has a son, so why the fuck would he feel like actually giving attention to the stepdaughters that he doesn't really even know too much? So and who is at least in her home country is always under monitoring of her researchers and teachers, as she is pretty much locked in her room pretty much 24/7. And well, the fifth girl, which is Sardana, well, her mother is Sol, who is the mother of Lucy, and the reason why Sol has 2 children instead of 1, well, that's because, well, she is a daughter of Flauros, Haures, and fun fact, and the one that I wanted to spoil, because again, I was trying to talk about Sterling, and I talk about, the origins of other characters, but basically, Haures was the one who is responsible for destroying his fucking village, just to set up a fucking play, just to set up a plan for Maho to fucking end. Because, well, not only is it just a narrative about 2 girls kissing, but also a meta narrative about demons trying to fucking end the story as quickly as possible, but one just will not have it. Because they don't want to die. Also, so Laura's gender is up to interpretation, actually. So you can use whatever pronouns you want. I either refer to him as they, because, well, to complete the triad, or as a he, because, well, he's a grandpa. So yeah. Evil grandpa. So yeah, this was just an elaborate plan on how to spot to bring Sterling to the playa, because he's aware that the fortune will go to the site of destruction and try to find any survivors. It inspired Genocide Undertale. So yeah, that is the story of Undertale Honor of Starlink. And well, he is the closest to the fifth girl, which is Saldana, despite her father being the one responsible for destroying his village. But the reason they bonded, well, they are both orphans, so you know. And he is a very compassionate guy. And you know, initially he wasn't. He was actually a massive joke. Because, well, the initial cast of Maho was a lot more different than what we have today. And Sterling was a fucking joke. He was pretty much a fuckboy. He wanted to get into Lucy's pants. He even summoned the demon of connections to, you know, have a dance with her. And well, Lucy doesn't fucking like it, you know, because, well, it is against her will, so you know. But ultimately, all ends well what all ends well, or what's the saying, I don't know. But I accidentally drew his, and I was actually trying to draw him as a classmate of Lucy. But I ended up making his hair a little bit too fluffy. And so I basically just changed the trajectory of his character like on 180 degrees. Now he's actually a fucking cinnamon roll who isn't really all that interested in Lucy. He, like, the maximum that when he's interested is in his, well, technically, no. He does have a crush on Lucy, but he doesn't want to pursue it because, well, he can see that Lucy won't be really happy with him, or she's just plainly not interested in him. So, you know, he just respects her wishes. And that's kinda my stance on love as well. Like, even if I end up having a crush on someone, I just want that person to, you know, actually reciprocate my feelings. I don't really want to force my feelings towards them. Like, oh my god, I love you, and the person will like, what the fuck? I don't want them to date me out of pity, you know, or out of an obligation. Well, she did confess to me, so I guess we got a date, so you know. So yeah, he's interested, but not really. And then later he does find Sardana, who he bonds with. You know, she's a very broody girl, and he's one, you know, okay, let's be friends. And she's like, okay, fine. And then they just drive together like that. Like, it's a dog and cheetah type of relationship, I would say. Like, you know, how cheetahs are so anxious they just, you know, forget their basic functions. And so they are introduced to dogs as role models since childhood. And so they became best friendies. Yes, that's their dynamic with Saldana. And well, Ashlyn tries to, you know, kinda hit on him, but he just sees her as a friend. She's fucking friend zone. Not only once, but fucking twice. And she's supposed to fucking represent the suit of hearts. And this guy is representing the suit of spades. Such irony. And the reason why I don't really like his design, at least this design, is that it looks way too rich for a fucking orphan. And while I can excuse it, you know, there is the more richer appearance, not like richer, but like more normal appearance, despite him being a literal orphan, is that, you know, the orphanage actually gets the funding from ambassador to later train them as the child soldiers, you know, as the future magicians. And so they are actually taken care of. Love. Plus, well, the owner of the orphanage is a very kind woman, so you know. But it just looks way too rich, you know? Plus, it's way too derivative of Little Prince, which, well, kinda inspired his whole aesthetic, but at the same time, I'm not really fond of being way too derivative, you know? I kinda want to avoid that, especially, you know... I feel... Oh god, it's Aleph but mousing another project again, but basically... There is Black Souls, and well, there is a Black Souls inspired game called To Kill a Fairy Tale, and I haven't played it. Admittedly, I haven't fucking played it, and I only saw the bits. But Jesus Christ, the designs just feel way too derivative of Black Souls, to the point it actually feels like, Mom, can I have Black Souls? Sweetie, we have Black Souls at home, and Black Souls at home be like, and this is just, you get fucking To Kill a Fairy Tale. Like, literally, there are characters who are just beat to beat to beat to beat to beat on, you know, from Black Souls. And fuck, Black Souls is inspired by Alice in Wonderland, so you know, but you know, the characters here are just, you know, just feel way too derivative. Like, we have Queen of Hearts, we have a Tiny Fairy, we have Red Hood for some reason. Even though the Red Hood from Black Souls and the Red Hood from To Kill a Fairy Tale seem like different in personalities, but still, like, fucking Red Hood also has fucking dog ears, so you know. And well, Tiny Green Fairy, who is totally not suspicious at all. Though the To Kill a Fairy Tale does have Mary Ann, and she is a separate character. Unlike in Black Souls, where Mary Ann and Mary Sue and Leif are the same character. So you know. And I'm trying to avoid the derivativeness or, you know, too closeness much more actively. I'll try to be much more proactive in avoiding on being way too similar to the works I was inspired by. And well, admittedly, even though it is a bit of a accidental, but well, he is really just inspired by stage 3 of Mukai. And I mean literally stage 3 of Mukai, not Tatsuya, stage 3 of Mukai, because well, Sterling, his power of light is kinda different to the power of light that Lucy has, and in the sense that his light is much more, you know, night leading, pretty much night inspired, while Lucy's is daylight. Like, Lucy's daylight and Sterling is nightlight. And while his powers of light of the night is that they boost others. Like, if Lucy can debuff others, then Sterling can buff others. And he's actually one of the few characters who can activate his domain. Well, technically all of the characters can activate their domain, but he can do it much more effortlessly. And his domain in the first game is actually way stronger than it has any right to be. And his domain is kinda watery. Like, you aren't pretty much feel like you're in the night sky, but you feel like you're floating through the water. It's how I would describe it. So yeah. Yeah, it's kinda like that. Like, out of all the characters, he has like the most effortless like domain creation. For Lucy, it's a bit difficult, and well, she can only accelerate herself. For Ashlyn, well, it takes a lot of fuel power to actually activate her domain. And even then, it's not as powerful or potent as Tolling's. And Ashley and Adrienne cannot do it at all. She can't summon the domain. But Sterling, hey, yeah, fuck it. Boom. Now you're all attacking and speed power and speed stats have been buffed. Boom. And Saldana also doesn't have the ability to activate her domain. Next is Sage, which has a much more interesting history, at least in terms of creation. As you can see, her main BRB lunchtime, my passive. Oh, my passive. Sora Kyusushin, which was supposed to be her main name, but at the same time, not really. Now she is actually Sage Sylvester O'Sullivan. And she leads a flower shop. And her name was, for the longest time, was Sora. And Kyusushin was from her husband. But her actual name, her name Sora, just was stuck for the longest time. But now that I started thinking about it, the less it actually makes sense for her to be called Sora. Because, well, Sora means sky. And she's not sky related in the slightest. Like, she's more of a fucking plant-based character. So I don't know how the fuck this happened. I thought maybe I thought Sora was a fucking cool name. So yeah. And I kinda had the idea of actually having her like Sora being a nickname, because well her husband actually gave her name Yozora because pronouncing Sage is actually a bit more difficult for him, so he pretty much calls him calls her Sora or Yozora, because she does remind him of Night Sky, and their first meeting was at the late night hours when he was trying to rob her shop, though admittedly for much more nobler reasons than most. He was trying to find a cure for the grandpa of his closest friend, and he was trying to find it in her shop because he was monitoring the Praia for quite a while in the shadows, and so he saw this warriors wandering around, and just the area in general. He saw her wandering around, and so decided to rob from her shop, and then they fucking met. And she was like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing in my house? And he was like, just let me. I was hit by famine passive. No. But yeah, that's and thank God for that husband that she was actually was willing to listen to him, because she is a bit of a soft-hearted individual, She does care a lot about others, And so she did decide to help to cure his grandfather, and in fact, because of her help, he pretty much cured in a way earlier times than expected of the Tanuki clan. And after that, she pretty much forced her future husband to become her familiar as a payoff. And then, they started to actually really like each other. And so they ended up getting married. So yeah, that was her story, but there is actually a lot to her. Again, if I had to say which character I actually had the longest from the Maho, just like how Popfon had said that, he had Gen and Shinji conceptualized had them first conceptualized. I would say Sage is like the first character to be conceptualized. And she's not really wasn't supposed to be here. She was supposed to be in a different comic, which was a Maho prototype, which is, gardening with Hiro, which I need to type out. And well, the premise is that, much more younger girl Sage would, and her now husband assistant, she would run her potions at flower shop, and then they would actually, take the commissions, hunt for more potions, etc., etc. And that's what they currently do in the story. Basically, Sage is the one who tends to the flowers in her greenhouse. She's also the one who is making the various potions, and she's also the one who well, basically she leads the business. And well, her husband is the one who is retrieving the flowers, because well, his powers just allow him to traverse much more greater distances and with much more endurance than her, because well, she is cursed, technically. And yeah, those kotais Gifto are intentional, because well, she is cursed. She used to be a human, but now she's stuck as being half god. Because, well, back when she was a human, she wasn't even a Praian. She was actually brought into Praia by Fortune, Lucy's dad. And how it happens that she was a great student in her magic school. She pretty much, was the very, very proficient a flower student, the plant magician. She has a mastery over plant life. But then she decided to get curious about demonic powers, and so she decided to make a contract with the demon of curiosity. And the demon of curiosity gave her a power to transform into a cat whenever she likes. And so she was like, oh, neat. And so she pretty much either walked as either a cat or a human to impress her classmates. Yo, look, I mastered the demon magic and it didn't really cost me anything. But then, the demon of curiosity did leave out one important issue with the transformations. Is that on the 9th transformation, she would be fucking stuck like this. She tried to turning back into a human, and she's now stuck, and now she suffers from several health issues. And now she is also outcast by the society of her previous home country. which is the same country where Aji is coming from. And well, that country is not really as tolerant towards demon magic as other countries. Like, they do acknowledge it, but they prosecute it. It's fucking magic racism. Ugh. And so she was pretty much outcast, she was pretty much disowned by her family, and she pretty much had nowhere to go, but she was accepted into Fortune's and Soul's party. Like, Fortune stumbled upon her crying all by herself, being fucking homeless and stuff. And he was like, yo, what the fuck happened? And so she told about what the fuck happened to her, and why she looks like that, and alright, cat, I'm going to fucking adopt you. And so he pretty much dragged her into his party, and so they ended up defeating the devil of gluttony together. And so she pretty much allowed her to move into Playa, where she could actually open up her business as a... Oh, hi Catman. As a florist. So now she is doing relatively well. She is pretty much grateful for Fortune's help on this one. Though he does tend to be kinda annoying, considering he's a cat person and he really wants to pet her at times. And she's like, please not. I'm more of a human than a cat, so please don't treat me like a cat. Or I will fucking snap at you. So yeah. She does solve him in her life, but not this much. Oh, and well, on her staff, well, there are also some... When the weapon isn't really made from malleable metal, or isn't really made in any parts, because Lucius was pretty much made with some part of malleable metal, and Sterling's was also as well. But when he found the rapier lying around in the forest, when he wandered way too much far away. Okay, mate, I'll be waiting for that RPG game of yours, cause I'm hearing insane amount of lore right now I wanna interact with. Hopefully. Oh. Basically explaining the weapons. But Ashlyn's and Sage's aren't made from malleable metal, they're made from wood. So they have a little bit of a catalyzers that boost their powers. Like for Ashlyn, it was the fruit of Amdusias, which is basically, the ice thingy. And for Sage, it's just this crystal. So yeah. Which amplifies her plant-based powers. So she pretty much has the worst sides of being a human and a cat, unfortunately. Like, she can see well at night, that's no denial, and she has enhanced senses, but at the same time she can no longer enjoy treats. She, in fact, cannot really eat a lot of stuff anymore because it is poisonous to cats, and well, her health was pretty much nerfed in that state. It's can't. Muka is also... Yachi detection is messed up. It's can't. Muka is also... Oh wait. You know what? This actually reminds me. This actually reminds me. Oh god, you fucking hit the nostalgia for me. You fucking hit the nostalgia.
Click the circles. The beat.
Wait.
Circles.
Блять. What is the image slideshow? Oh, what here it is. Fuck, I realized that there's her title. She is a wizard of botany. And yeah, she is a botanical fiend, I would say.
Circles.
And well, the worst parts of being a human, well, you get chronic pain somewhere, so you know. And she isn't as dexterous as she could have liked. Also, she has a shortened lifespan as well. But she living her best life.
Circle.
She's living her best life. Don't worry about her. She's actually very fine. Okay, there's her husband. And that's one of the few instances of me drawing at least somewhat muscular characters for once. This is Momosuke Kyushin. Well, technically they're not... his family name is now... I need to search for this.
Circles. Click. Click the circles.
Katagawa, yeah. His name is now Katagawa, so yeah.
Click.
And his actual name was supposed to be Momotaro. No, he's not a woman, he's a man. I tried to draw a man, but I fucking failed it, it seems. Oh no. In fact, Aleph's art style 101. You cannot fucking tell woman from a man. Let's make it a fucking guessing game. Oh no. Anyway, he's the husband of Sage. Again, her name is now Sage Sylvester O'Sullivan. And well, she is based on. Wait, I forgot that she is also based on Catchy. So and this flower here was supposed to represent the star on Catchy's chest, which I find really cute. I sorry, I don't know how to draw man. That one for some reputation video, yeah. I mean, I'm at least willing for, you know, my own characters being, you know, impact or something. But not for fucking Skimpo. I seriously can't believe this fucking happened. If not for Poppon's comment, he would just have feminine hips and that's it. Not fucking childbearing hips. Fuck. And he was pretty much largely based on Momotaro. And that's why, you know, he has shikis, you know, dango shikis like peasant, monkey, dog shiki, which he can use to transform into them. And there is also an art of Sage. So yeah. As a man, I hate drawing, man. And he can pretty much, use his tricky as not only, know his ranged options because he is more of a melee fighter, but also so he could just, assume their forms. Like he could either become a peasant or a giant dog or a monkey. So yeah. Welcome back, Mamitsu. Also, there was supposed to be a joke about balls, but I ended up cutting it because, well, I think my English teacher would not approve of it. So there was supposed to be a joke about balls somewhere in there. And well, a bit of an unfortunate fact for you, which I cannot fucking beat the fucking hentai allegations, but he is a character who I base off of fucking hentai at one point. Like when I first drew him, he had like those accessories on his hair, and his overall motive of being a feminine man, well, or at least very feminine looking man, was literally pulled from a hentai game, from a hentai mobile game that I cannot fucking find because I think the servers got shut down. But basically it featured like historical warriors like Oda Nobunaga and something, and they were as those anime girls that you could, do the deed with. So yeah. But unfortunately he kinda lost those side thingies, so yeah. And that's how I actually found out that fanboys exist. I wasn't exposed to fanboys through Alfonso. I wasn't exposed to fanboys through Felix. I wasn't exposed through other feminine characters. I was exposed to fanboys through a fucking hentai game. Because the main character literally looked like a girl, and only in those CGs where you can see his weeby. And no, it wasn't Fate. It wasn't Fate, by the way. That's something I can tell for sure. Even though I don't fucking remember the name of the game anymore, and the only thing I can remember is it was on Nutaku. So yeah. But yeah, he is kinda like that. And well, there was supposed to be a kind of a close, like Kaoru kind of has this, that kind of hides, like between the legs. Like he used to be, he was supposed to have this, but baggy pants would suffice like that. So yeah. But to spoil one thing, he's also incredibly racist. Oh no. To elaborate, because there is a character who he has massive beef with. Basically, his clan, Tanuki clan, was driven away from their land by Kitsune clan. And he went through so much shit being imprisoned in one of their camps that made him fucking hate Kitsune. And literally only Kitsune. He doesn't fucking express too much hatred towards demons. And well, fucking, we have fortune to fucking shit on demons with extreme prejudice. But even his prejudice will not fucking top Momosuke's prejudice against Kitsune clan. And that's like an important plot point, because it kinda puts a range into to actually trying to have a choose with the country of Kitsune and other, basically this was equivalent of Japan. He pretty much, has his reasons, but those reasons became unreasonable. So yeah. And he also appears as a mid-boss for the Sages stage, because, well, the first stage is Inizio, second stage is Ashley, and third stage is Sterling, and the fourth stage is, well, Momosuke in his disguised form as a mid-boss. Bro, what's with the fucking racism? And another is that, well, Sage is the fourth stage boss. And now we get to the quote-unquote final, but actually not really psych, we get pranked loser. Basically, like, this is Audrey. And, well, you can notice that she has purple hair. And, well, yes, Sage also has purple hair. Well, she is also cursed. Her natural hair color was supposed to be dark brown, and, well, Adrian's also as well. Her hair color was supposed to be brown, dark brown, I mean. Unreasonable behavior. Oh god, I need to put this on too. Так. Because this OST is just so fucking slaps, dude. In fact, I actually had this music in mind for Adri, and at least her stage. That's where Lucy gets to the top floor and she's trying to get through the debris. Through the debris. And, well, while Audrey is trying to summon Emilia. So she has to make it in time until before Audrey actually summons Emilia, and now she's pretty much cooked. Because, well, she doesn't want to live on this world anymore. She wants to actually live fucking isekai herself. Basically, as you can see, even so, I want to get actually, now that I think about it, while she wouldn't have a crown on her head, in general speaking, she would put it on for the summoning ritual to keep her magic in check. It's her magic balancer. And magic conductor is from which she lets out her energy. She lets out her magic. Because if she doesn't fucking use it, well, her body will break. She will fucking explode her body. So yeah. Ironic, because in off you basically get all the time in the world in that section, yeah. Yeah, I was nervous at first, but then also, yeah, she is representing the suit of diamonds, and that's what the title referred to. A dream of flying with diamonds. Lucy is in the sky flying with diamonds. Yeah, she's supposed to fucking magic spam, or else she will fucking die. And that's why she has purple hair. Again, that's due to magic overflow. And she's a witch of ether. So she has a very powerful magic, but it is very unbalanced. The fact timer pauses in battle is what makes it so easy. Yeah. And so when Lucy gets to her, she's like, you, Archie, what the actual fuck? Why are you doing this? And she's like, please, Lucy, can you, if since you're here, can we go there together instead? I do have feelings for you and shit, so let's live in the fantasy world together. And she's like, I would rather not live here. And whatever the fuck you're summoning is not really good. I mean, the people are going fucking berserk. Jesus Christ! Like, also, I forgot the reasons why they're fucking fighting you. Basically, Inizio, he is fighting Lucy because, he pretty much invaded that her village, pretty much made a blockade. Basically, with his slime, he pretty much locked everyone out of their buildings to, to protect them because, despite, Inizio's demonic nature, he's more of a good guy. He's just a bit more misguided or have, his way of doing good. And now he's tasting Lucy if she's ready to actually, face what's going on in her school. And when she actually proves herself to Inizio, he pretty much, lets her go, but still, sustains the blockade before, Fortune actually gets to the place and fucking kills him. And and then, when Lucy gets into the school, she's like, wait, what the fuck? Why is the school looping? And she realizes that it's all because Ashley also was doing what Inicio did. She's also doing her version of blockade. She's trying to, misdirect berserk children on the first floor from accessing the upper floors because with her magic, with Edge's magic of magic overflow, since she pretty much channeled a lot of magic to summon Elyria, her magic pretty much started making impact on other children, and some of the children just went berserk. And Ashley is one of the few who didn't, because her magic is self-taught and technically not really all that offensive. It's more of a supportive magic. So she was like, yo, Lucy, what the fuck, you're late. And she doesn't really trust Lucy to be rational in all of this shit because Edgy is the one who actually caused this fucking shit, making power spirits that pretty much possessing children and making them go berserk, unga bunga, and overall just causing chaos. And she just doesn't fucking trust Lucy because she will act very much unwise. So they fight each other, so Lucy would force Ashlyn to fuck off. And so now that Maho is an RPG, she will join Lucy's party, as a evasion support character because, illusions and shit. And, it's one of the strongest students that went berserk, and, the one that, shouldn't fucking be berserk at any cost is stalling. Because his magic is that potent. So he pretty much, in his berserk state, he pretty much started letting go various animals because he really he felt pity for them, and so he released various creatures and animals from their cages. Yes, and pretty much summoned his domain just for the funsies. And so he pretty much in his berserk state started attacking our heroines. And technically this is the first point where our character actually can die. Like, I want to make a bad ending. Well, if you don't stop the whale attack in time, because during his final attack he will summon a fucking giant as well. and it will take a toll on his body because, well, he is overexerting himself in his berserk state. And so, if they don't stop this attack in time, well, Lucy and Ashlyn are now fucking dead. And when Sterling Link snaps out of it, he's like, what the fuck is what happened? And then he looks over to the crushed bodies of Lucy and Ashlyn, and then like, no, and then it cuts to black, and like, yo fucker, do try this shit again. Giantess whale off reference to Anthony. Yeah, it is. I was fucking surprised by the existence of whales. I thought they were also a kind of late. I thought they were kind of a late stage enemy, but no, they appear as early as Zone 2, which is fucking hilarious as shit. And just randomly too. Just in the places you don't even expect, you know? Is Berserk not Darkman? And so when Lucy and Ashlyn actually come Sterling the fuck down, he joins the party as a support character, as an offensive support character, and then they go to the next floor, and it's overgrown as fuck because, well, Sage is trying to apprehend as many children as possible because, well, they are lining amok, and, well, she's a teacher. Also, yes, aside from being an alchemist and a florist, she is also a teacher. She's a very busy woman. So, admittedly, she is more of a half. I need to search the word. Полставка на английский. Yeah, it's more of a part-time for her. Like, she would appear sometimes, but usually she would be busy with running her shop. Or when she's actually, asked to organize the lesson, which usually what happens. She's a very competent magician after all, even after her mishap. And well, Momoski is aiding her in trying to prevent children from running amok. He is trying to help his wife. And now they get to the top floor and they meet Audrey, who is trying to summon Lilia. And technically, to summon Lilia, you need your own blood to draw the pentagram, and you need a rather big pentagram so she could actually, enter and exit from it. But, Edgy is a very weak character. If she will spill blood, she will probably pass out from anemia. And, not Aleph style anemia, actual anemia, the ones that people think when they hear anemia. So she will pass out while trying to make her pentagram. So she instead use chalk to draw out the pentagram. And that is the reason, well, one of the reasons why Titania is much more weaker than she could have been. Again, she is a very strong demon. She was not only caught off guard, not only was she sealed for quite a while, so she pretty much lost some of her senses, but she, the pentagram wasn't all that great, so and so the party approaches her like, please stop what you're doing, and she's like, no, and they fight. And after the battle, the pentagram Nolly starts walking, and then it sucks Adri and Lucy inside of the portal. Because, well, the pentagram is used as a portal to the fairy world or fairyland. Блядь, fairyland, fairy realm. And so it leads to her, Emilia. Well, she is named Titania here, but you know, I decided to change it because, well, she doesn't really have too much in common with Titania's failure from Shakespeare. She more has a lot of common with La Belle, like the White Lady, who pretty much makes her victims pale beings that wander the land aimlessly. So and I need, and well, I have another association with music. I need to look it up. Yeah, she's a bird. She's a bird. Ba 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 ba. This is not my birthday. My birthday was on October 2nd. I just had my birthday. I just had to have my birthday stream later because I was having a birthday party with my family, and I don't want my family to be like, hey, yo, what the fuck? Why are you streaming? Plus, it's went on my fucking Wednesday, and I don't stream on weekdays, so Also, the music that is currently playing is Undercurrent, and this is the music that I have in mind for the Fairy Realm, considering that it doesn't really work. Wait, what the fuck did I say? Like, the time here is distorted. Like, you spent your entire week at the Fairy Realm, having fun and all, and then you enter the real world and now you're 70 years older. And now you fucking die. She inspired Martlet. Oh no. Where is it? I need Oh wait, I didn't need the extended version, I needed just... Yeah, this is more accurate. This is more accurate to what I had for the Fairy Realm music. Because everything is fucking distorted as shit, and since Lucy is technically not even fucking invited, she pretty much sees the reality of the Fairy Realm and how much of a fucked up place it is. And when she finally gets to the Fairy Queen castle, she finally meets up with Lilia. And the forward part is, when you actually meet Lilia. Yeah, thanks for reminding me that. And another music that I have in mind for now, Emilia herself. Again, I was actually inspired by Off. Like, majorly, I would say that I was majorly inspired by Off music. And general, just Off. She would at first try to fool Lucy into, well, you can't call this place your home, you know, you could join your friend and all. There's nothing wrong with it. Totally not being suspicious at all. And Lucy's like, yo, what the fuck? And she will try to call out those solutions. And that's when she goes fucking ballistic and, you know, oh, alright, you fuck, I'm going to fucking kill you right now. And eat you. Because, well, she really did see the pale children in her fairy world. Which are her fucking victims, by the way. That are cursed to wander aimlessly in the fairy world. Not being unable to remember who they are. They literally feel nothing, yet at the same time just absolute confusion and fear. Like, they're not even in control of their emotions. They're just damned to wander for eternity in her fairy realm. Until she actually dies. And oh god, I realize I have like so many inspirations for Titania or Emilia. Well, first of all, her overall motive is the white heron orchid. You know, because well, she's trying to, well, the fairies, at least her fairies, are trying to, you know, masquerade themselves as flowers to, you know, since children love to, you know, pick up flowers, she would have her soldiers to impersonate flowers, and so they would use that to kidnap children. You know, if they happen to pick them up and they, you know, yo, you're going to Brazil. And then they fucking grab the children and then an isekai to her world, to her realm. There is also her flower crown, which, well, I do intend to keep because, well, it's a flower crown. But I want to make flowers a bit more generic. Because, well, those flowers are picked from Hanakotoba. But it doesn't really make sense now, does it? Considering she's not even Japanese. How the fuck does she even get that from? Or at least she's largely not Japanese. We love kidnapping Lennon codes. So I think I'll replace flowers with more uniform flowers that have like more or less same meaning everywhere around the world. That do symbolize kind of sorrow. Again, she does try to manipulate her victims into thinking that she's, you know, the most compassionate being that ever lived, but in reality, you know, she is trying to fucking eat them. And you know, there is a story that I uploaded, a story of 3 gifts. That, you know, the Elana gave humans brains, Haurus gave humans their hearts, and lore gives them their bodies. And well, for demons, hearts and brains are just very luxurious meal. Like usually, like we do realize that aren't the most enticing meal in the world. Considering we are low on fat, we don't really have too much meat in us, and overall, just not a very satisfying or easy meal to catch. So a lot of predators just don't really bother with us. Like if they see something bigger, like say an elephant or a bison, they would actually hunt bison instead of us. But I decided, and I had this dilemma as well. Like, why would demons hunt humans? And I realized that I could use it because, well, they have quote unquote higher cognition. Like, they actually possess all three gifts that demons lack, considering they are not created by the three wise kings. They were created by humans themselves as a result of being in the image of God or gods. So they pretty much think that this shit is so fucking lit. Like actual gourmet type of shit. Like fucking Kobe beef type of shit. So that's the reason why they actually want to hunt humans. As a flex. But yeah, in Maho, the demons would really hunt humans literally just because, well, they have the components that make them so much tastier than just some fucking animal meat. Plus, she has also kaleidoscope eyes, and well, the kaleidoscope eyes are not really supposed to be intentional reference. It's a more accidental one. But she was more inspired by Dabi or Daki. I forgot what the fuck his name was. Uh, Da. Yeah, it's Daki. Wait, no, it's the wrong character all along. Uh, White. Ice Demon. I forgot what the fuck he was. Toma. Oh god. What the fuck is Toma? What the fuck is this fan character? Alright. I finally found, the character I actually was inspired by. I actually found it. Wait a sec. Um, yeah, here it is. Also, yeah, I know fandom and shit, but still, I needed a quick resource. And so, yeah, I was inspired by Doma. She was supposed to be much more calmer, Elyria. Like, now like, if she sees a hint of, a defiance, she goes fucking apeshit. But initially, she was supposed to be much more calmer, like Doma. Because, well, he can't really feel emotions. And one of the unique things that are noted about him is his rainbow eyes. And so I was like, mama, that is interesting. Is there a fucking plane where it actually, you know? No, it doesn't really have, the frame where it actually focuses on his fucking eyes. Fandom is basically dead for small communities and even some of the larger communities. Yeah. Or it's dead for the communities that are much more complex in their, structure. Like Hollow Knight or Fear and Hunger. Oof. So that's why she has, kaleidoscope eyes. Like she has this very unique eye shape and eye color. She's also, I forgot why, but I guess because those the yellow thing is resemblant of the caterpillar, I forgot its name, eastern swallow. That's why she has swallow wings. And she's also very much heavily inspired. In fact, the whole act system, where the attacks are kind of weird. Like, let me read you an excerpt from my school project. Because I haven't fucking translated it yet. Because, I realized that Mm. That the prologue kinda sucked, but basically, final act conception. For over a century, the objective of every organism was the population of its kind, and there is several ways to prolong your kind. Agam, mo, basically asexually, sexually, or spiritually. But and spiritually, I mean uh, giving out your legacy. Because even though you might not have children, you have children in terms of and those children are people who are inspired by your works. So yeah. And I was inspired by Queen from Off, and her battle was just something else. Like the way she attacks with fucking quotes, and those attacks are named after knight. Wait, not knight. Chess moves is just so amazing. Of queen fight. Will she? Will she? Will she? Again, Elyria was supposed to have a much more somber tone than what we have now, which is no a much more angry woman who just please I just want to fucking eat. So please stop struggling. For the love of ass. Oh, wait, did I fucking skip it? So form of hero attack. But yeah, her design is pretty much highly inspired by Queen from Aleph. And technically, the whole fighting system is kinda the break them with words, but you know, you have very, very strange words. Oops. Yeah, it's way too low. I pretty much know that. I pretty much know that. It's just, you know, for people who don't know her name. And another thing of what she was inspired by, I thought of it, but I forgot. There was something that, oh wait, I remembered, but again, like, сейчас. Also, oh god, it will actually make some people laugh. Wait a second. Here is Ozma from Library of Ruina. I was also inspired by her, and also, and well, I would say that her berserk phase when she gets really mad at Lucy and tries to actually fucking kill her, she would look kinda similar to this. And yes, there is also this. This is Roland. This is man. Hi, James. This is a guy. He just took an ego of a girl, of a Ozma, and he looks like that. Drifto, are you here? Drifto, you ought to fucking know this. You ought to fucking know this. But yeah, it was a fucking shock to me when it was first revealed. And it made me feel a little bit freaky. Overall, initially she was supposed to be this quote-unquote motherly figure. You know, she was supposed to be much more understanding, much more kinder, you know, to give into the neutrality of demons. But then I decided to make her more savage, and you know, she also lost her human legs for chicken legs. Because, well, she is a heron, after all. And she is also a moth. Yeah. And now we get to the we have Tatsuya at home character. And the one who is definitely guaranteed to appear a lot. This is A Clockman Fortune. Or, well, the A actually, you know, stands for Autumn. He just doesn't like using this name. And well, it is a clever reference to the fact that gold does not corrode. It wasn't actually intentional. It was, you know, more reference to JoJo because there is Okuyasu, there's also his bro. Like their father was naming them after a after numbers. Like Kiyosuke or Yasuke, because their father was greedy. And that was the same story with Clockman, because well, his father is also a very greedy piece of shit, and so he's called Oron, which means gold. His younger siblings are named, Sylvia and Copper and Copper too. Well, Sylvia. Well, those two sisters are actually pretty much dead. He has a lot of trauma surrounding them. Anyway, initially, Clockman was literally just a Mukai fan character. Because, well, I heard of a lost media called Clockman, a wizard that appears from the clocks, and I thought, maybe that would be a good Mukai character inspiration or something. And so, she just somehow ends up inside Tatsu's clock, and he sees this fucking hobo, and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" Like a fan-made extra stage character. But then I decided to, this is stupid. I'll just make him my own original character instead, which happens to a lot of my fan characters, and hopefully this won't happen to Hibana. I want her to stay a fan character, considering she did appear in a dream of Mukai. So yeah. And yeah, he is an ambassador, which means pretty much he's a big shot of the entire world. He pretty much, the incident resolver, like Reimu or Marisa or, Tsubami Senri. In fact, he is more comparable to Tsubami Senri given, his violent impulses and such. And his cap is also another JoJo reference. And yes, the whole time gimmick is also a JoJo reference. I will play. Like, his name is a JoJo reference, his ability is a JoJo reference, albeit a bit more complex. His cap is a JoJo reference. Just wow. Basically, this cap was supposed to be all rugged, and well, it was given to him by Soul, his wife, and the mother of Lucy and Saldana. Well, he didn't father Saldana, he only fathered Lucy, so yeah. And the whole, closing one eye, and well, he keeps it actually closed. He will open it in emergency situations. He will not open it if he even if he was forced to. He will only open it when it's an absolute emergency, because this eye controls and his gray eye, which is the part that is close of him, is controlling time. And well, how he controls time is that I also is that no, he can control the flow of the time, which basically he can either speed up or slow down time. He cannot stop it, or technically he could, but that would be a dead zone. Yeah, we did have a Yabover because, well, Wi-Fi is being shit, but the Wi-Fi for OBS doesn't crash, and that's and the reason is because I am in the hall and I'm quite close to the Wi-Fi, but that doesn't prevent the me shit Wi-Fi problems when I'm using the browser. So yeah. And well, the reason why it's gray is literally because of Setsuka Chibukuro from Danganronpa. From Danganronpa. Danganronpa nozzle. Because I really liked her design. And well, they both have devil's eye by technicality. Because Tsuka's devil's eye is an implant. It's a mechanical eye that helped her to become an ultimate billiards player. And no, people didn't like that. And she also keeps it closed for the majority of the time. But in Fortune's case, yeah, his luck eye is pretty much, hereditary. He was pretty much born with it, and he really hated it because, well, that caused his father to manipulate the shit out of him, or at least use the hell out of him. Yo, give me some fucking cash, and he's like, please, dad, fuck off, you don't leave me with anything, fuck. And overall, just no, his luck is so powerful that it pretty much renders every fight just absolutely useless. Everything will go to his favor, so that's why he doesn't use it. He only uses his time, right, to actual control shit. And the cost part is that you are either born as a champion, which means you have children from with demons. So basically, your child is a half demon, or you just happen to be born that way. And in Fortune's case, it's kind of a bit of a both. Like he got luck from his hereditary side because, well, his ancestors did have, woo woo with the demon of fortune as a deal. And well, he was just born this way with the time eye. And if not for his luck ability, his luck curse, his time curse would actually be an absolute fucking misery. Like, it would have fucking killed him or ripped him apart. But because, well, due to his overusage of the time powers that he did on himself, he is pretty much a living time fuck. Absolute time anomaly. Now, like, he's technically like 34 years old, but the actual age of his body is just I don't know. Female in trench coat. And I was just talking to him as a male. Oh god. Seriously, I need to make a fucking show. A fucking quiz show. Guess who Yes, which character is a female and which character is a male? Yeah, I refreshed it. Also need to turn the... Mhm. So his actual age is just unknown even to himself because he didn't fucking count it. So yeah. What's a gender? Yeah, what is a gender? A miserable pile of secrets, that's what. And well, the reason why he has long hair to the point of braiding it is literally just because, well, his wife told him, "Oh, you look cute with long hair back when they were fucking children, like no, when they were fucking 13 years old." And so he started growing it and growing it and growing it, just like that. Plus, he did hear of Samson, so he legit thinks that the longer hair I have, the more power I have. He is not really bright, but at the same time, to use his ability as proficiently as possible, you have to think a lot. Like, your brain must constantly be operating when you actually have his power to manipulate the flow of time. Because, well, he can only affect certain areas unless he actually, changes the flow of time for himself. He can accelerate himself and accelerate his healing. Which, fun fact, if he didn't fucking have luck ability, he would either die from cancer or fucking die from old age. Because yeah, well, he does look young. Like, he would either have a lot of cancer cells, or cells would have died at a very accelerated rate. But thanks to his luck, his cells just don't die. But at the same time, they also, don't become a cancerous growth. And well, here are his weapons. His minuet, his miliet, here is Secom, and there is Hora. Like, Hora is like his ultimate weapon. Like, he only fires off when he absolutely feels confident that, no, his target is apprehended, and, kinda as a last resort, because he puts all of his energy inside of the spear, and if it misses or it breaks it will fucking damage him a lot. Like, it's like stabbing your pinky, basically. That's how it feels. And those weapons are selected just to make his opponent suffer as much as possible. Yes, that's the reason. Again, he does have a lot of contempt against his adversary, so if you fight him, he will make sure you'll suffer quite a lot, especially if you're a demon. And well, he uses Hora for demons. He doesn't really use it for against human opponents. He usually uses either Minuet, Miliet, or Secom. Also, yes, Secom literally was just pulled from, Secom Masada. Admittedly, yeah. And well, he was technically also supposed to appear in my quote-unquote previous Yuminiki Fungi, which was basically me self-inserting myself. And well, he was here too. So yeah. And Millet and Minuet, well, those are just cute names. Nothing too particular. But yeah, if he freezes times, that would become a dead zone, which is not really desirable. Because if you, it's like touching an object. Like the movement just stops. And you know, if something ends up in that dead zone, well, now it's permanently dead. It's like if your arm was caught into that time zone, well, your arm is just, you cannot get out. You have to have your arm, you know, amputated to actually get out of that dead zone. So yeah. That's why he doesn't really do that, you know. He doesn't stop time. He only like changes the flow of the time, the speed of flow. So yeah. And again, he is a major character, so he will appear a lot in the story. Even though I do bet that he will get complaints. He will get complaints of appearing way too much in the story. Also, now that I showed this character, I also need to say that Momosuke not only appears as the 4th stage mini-boss, or at least mid-boss, but he also appears as an extra stage boss, or you know, optional extra stage boss, because well, you technically don't really have to fight him, you know, you only fight him just because. Would hypothetically struggle to breathe in stop time if they can move? Yeah, they will. Well, they in the stop time, or well, again, if they end up in the stop time zone, they're fucked. They're now officially dead. And you know the fun part about those dead zones? Fortune cannot fucking remove them. He literally just can't. If he stops the time, that zone is dead. It's perpetually just stopped in motion. It's like some invisible object just appeared out of nowhere. And you have to have a keen eye if there's like grasses or something. If it stopped moving, then yeah, that part is likely a dead zone. And so if a person gets inside the dead zone, well, they're dead. They're dead. But in slow time, not really. They would still operate normally, but if only the head is ended up in the slowed, now slowed, not stopped, just slowed, then yeah, they would actually start struggling to breathe. Because, well, the lungs are outside and, you know, pretty much operate on normal time, but, you know, your breathing is operating on slow time. So that is kind of a fucked up situation. So, again, thank God that despite his contempt, he is still a much more or less fair fighter. He would only use the slowdowns to annoy to just, you know, to impede the opponent, not necessarily to insta-kill them. Because, well, he absolutely could just insta-kill the opponent if he so wished. But yeah, this is the actual extra boss of the game. When all said and done, you know, actually, after Lucy defeats Lilia, or technically Fortune, because, well, fuck, I forgot. Basically, Lucy and Audrey get trapped inside the fairy realm, and well, they are struggling again. against, Titania. It would be Titania Elyria, who is trying to eat them. But then they, they aren't making too much progress because now that Elyria is very big, she becomes a very big woman. So, very big and scary woman, like a gigantic one. So, it's... Wait, I need to show you, like, Enoch. Like the battle against Elyria at her final phase, or at least quote unquote final phase, it would look like this. From the like it's tiny Lucy and tiny Archie trying their best to survive against very enraged Elyria, and then they hear something cracking, and it means that Fortune has finally arrived. He was called that, Fortune, your daughter got abducted, and he's like, what? And he rushes in back to the playa and gets inside the zone of the fairy realm because it's still currently in the playa. Like it. Leaving. And he's like, and he barges into that fairy realm and tries to break away the barriers that protects fairy realm from being invaded, that by accident. So yeah. And well, he breaks down the barrier while he tells the girls to weaken Elyria so he could have an easier time breaking the barrier. And so he breaks it, he finally exterminates that very crazed fairy queen. And so they finally get out of this mess, but now due to fucked up perception of time, they were missing for days. And everyone was fucking worried. Where the fuck have they been? But yeah, Fortune successfully retrieved 2 girls or at least 2 alive girls, because any other creature was fucking dead. So he brings them back into the real world, and then mother of Archie just fucking takes away Adriana. Gianna was saying, you know what, fuck you guys, we're going home. And Archie makes a promise to Lucy to meet each other again, and that's where that's where Maho fucking kickstarts. It's just Lucy's quest to get back to her to her girlfriend. But shenanigans happen. This is pretty much doomed Yuri. And so, after all that, after Aji's departure, Lucy gets curious about, how the fuck did she summon the demon? Because, well, Aji did tell her after, quote-unquote, their detention and talk with the directors of the school. Well, director of the school, she confessed to Lucy that, she got the grimoire from the library, and Lucy was like, you gotta investigate that. And she pretty much, goes into the library. Does that mean Maho too will be old man yaoi? Probably. Maybe. But actually, there is quote-unquote sequel to Maho that I wanted to make, but I'm afraid I will never end up making, and this is Black and White Theater. And that basically takes place way after Maho. So it is essentially Maho 2. And it pretty much stars Yushiro Kurokawa. Let me type it out. Yushiro Kurokawa. And this is pretty much, my ideal version of myself. He's just a fucking loser. He's the fuckable twink, but he's a fucking loser. He didn't fucking achieve anything in his life, and so he ends up dying randomly. Just fucking fell asleep and then fucking died like a loser, and then ended up being in hell, being sent in black and white hell, and so he has to traverse the hell to get out of here. Get out of the hell and get the quote-unquote paradise. And technically it is old man yaoi, considering the villain of the story, and that is lore, after he was depowered. And became a miserable shit stain. Anyway, this is basically Lucy goes into the library and starts, how do I say this? Interrogating Elaine. So I might actually rename her because it was way too similar to Elana, and she is in design quite similar, so I want to redesign her as well. I don't really want Elana and Elaine be way too similar, considering they're not really all that related. Like, yeah, Elana is quote-unquote librarian, but not to this fucking extent. Like, Elaine was supposed to be just a minor character at the end of the day. So she gets interrogated by Lucy. And well, the librarian confesses that, she just found it. And then Lucy's father, fucking Fortune, he decides to barge in and start torturing poor Elaine. Trying to get the information on why the fuck does this grimoire even exist. I thought all the copies were burned. And she's like, no, please let me go. I don't want to die. And he was basically forced to let her go by the director, considering Elaine is technically her child, so or at least her transformed child, considering she was the victim of Elyria. She basically, when she was a human, she got kidnapped by one of the Elyria's fairies, and she basically suffered through the nursery, which transforms her into a morph girl, which I want to make much more disturbing than what is shown here. The reason why her mouth isn't shown was because it's carved. The animation, hell. Was it Hello Kitty or Hello Kitty? Yeah, it's Hello Kitty. Do you guys remember this animation? Because, well, this is actually what happened to Elaine when she got retrieved from the fairy world. Well, not technically retrieved. She was supposed to be one of its scouts, but then her mother found her, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to carve out the mouth for you, and you know, this is actually what's behind that scarf. A carved out mouth. Again, I want to make her much more insectoid to, you know, to translate how much of a horrible time it is in nursery. You're basically forced to transform into an abomination, you know, beyond recognition. So yeah, another reason why Fortune tortures her is also because, well, she is technically a failure. So she thought that she was basically conspiring against Priya, but in reality she just doesn't fucking know. She isn't even attached to the queen. Because she was caught pretty much early on as a changeling. So she didn't have any time to actually form an attachment to her new mother, and she just went back to her old mother. I was about to say Hello Kitty, look it up. And now those are the children, the power demons. Well, technically they used to be angels, but now I decided to retcon it to demon of negative and demon of positive, because they were supposed to be on a higher pecking order. Also yes. Also yes, I need to bring up Dizzy again. Come on. Also, yes. Oh, wait. Dizzy is covered. I mean, I didn't really state this in my debut stream. But yeah, those are... This is like the proto-Dizzies. And even then, Teki is a guy. Teki is an actual guy. I was inspired by Tiferet from Limbus. Блять, Limbus Company! They don't even appear in Limbus Company, what the fuck? Lobotomy Corporation. Because they pretty much look identical, but Enoch is a guy and, well, he has shorter hair. And I just decided to exaggerate it a bit by, you know, having Teki also cross-dress as a girl. And, well, they're pretty much not only are retainers of Aji, basically they're her quote-unquote familiars. They're basically her guardians. Like, if Lucy has, you know, her 3 wheels, her 3 dragons, well, technically it's not 3 dragons, it's more of a, you know, 3-headed dragon. Then, then she has, you know, both those twins as her familiars. And they are also servants. Taking gender guessing would be the one everyone actually gets wrong, yeah. They're also servants of not only Lore, but also Howlers. And technically they're currently serving Howlers, but you know, even Howlers screws over their plans when they start serving Lore. they're pretty much, double crossing them. Because, well, they are, like, despite everything, they are more of a servant type demons. And, they pretty much, gave Archie her life. They pretty much, again, her mother actually the one who made a deal with them to, actually let her, let her be alive and, not be a stillborn. She struck a deal with them. And, admittedly, Negan actually, is friends with Archie and actually wishes that, she could actually do something about her condition to not be as drastic as it is. Well, Teki, well, he's a bit of a bastard. He's an angel of negative, or, well, demon of negative. So he is more preoccupied with, quote-unquote, double crossing thing. Well, it's technically not double crossing, it's just, Lord and Howard's fighting each other on who gets to control those two twins. Fighting over fucking custody, oh no. But yeah, to spoil, the end of Maho, technically, Adri fucking dies, and Negan is fucking pissed. Absolutely fucking pissed. Like, if Teki was angered because, well, no, her mother broke the contract, Negan would be pissed off because, well, Adri fucking died. And they start, destroying the whole fucking country. Well, technically the whole fucking city, and it is a huge city. But still, they would be fucking destroying one for vengeance and another, well, because, well, someone didn't fucking keep the end of their fucking contract, so So that's how it is with those twins. And now Soul, the mother, and actually the actual protagonist of Maho, because it is from her point of view that the story is getting unfolded. Because, well, she pretty much gets into the upper plane where she meets Lore, and Lore is like, since he's like, I can actually manipulate this woman, so he basically pretty much shows every possibility of Lucy dying, and he's like, her end is foregone, when, well, technically it is foregone, so you better do you give in to despair and become the demon of power, or the actual demon of power, not like positive and negative, or actually start struggling and keep your daughter alive as much as possible, and no, she is a loving mother, so of course she picked the second option, and now she is pretty much playing a death game with Lore. But another thing is that, she has a quite a rich history. Because, well, first of all, she, again, from the very start, Lore intended for her to be the demon of energy. Like, he actually wanted to create an artificial demon, like, even more artificial than his shitty demons that are based on real people. like actually raising someone to be a demon. But thanks to Howler's putting a lot of sticks on his wheels, she ended up, gaining human emotions and, having more or less relatively normal life, but at the same time not. Actually life filled with tragedy and happiness and not just, just artificially made. And Lord was like, fuck this fucking pussy. And then, oh wait, I can actually use this. I can actually use this to prolong my life even further. Because again, if there's no story, Lord fucking dies. Everyone fucking dies. And Lord doesn't want that, he wants to be alive. So he basically just forced Soul into this death game. And well, she's a talented magician. She has the power of light, and it's the same type of magical as Lucy's, but much stronger, like extremely stronger. Like if you're hit with her lasers, you would feel completely overwhelmed, and you will fucking lose the will to even fight. Like you actually would tremble in fear, especially if the laser came from above. You would feel like you're under a hydraulic press, but at the same time you're absolutely fine. Like it's your soul that has been through a fucking what is essentially a hydraulic press. And you would just fucking break down. Well, against demons, and Lucy's magic is also very, very, very effective against demons. But Soul's, she fucking obliterates demons. And just forces Lord to create, oh fuck, I need to fight another mold shit. Yeah. She's a very powerful magician. But at the same time, she is very unhinged. She is very unhinged, believe me. And well, that stems from her story. She pretty much befriended that fortune during her trip to the playa with her adopted father, which is one of the scientists in her research facility who decided to steal her away, considering he didn't really want this child to be experimented on. And so he decided to adopt her. And that doesn't really fly. So during the trip, Lord pretty much organizes the fucking assassination on his home, basically killing the scientist's wife and daughter by sweeping their house in the storm while they're again away to the vacation. And that's when she meets Fortune and becomes fast friends with Fortune because he did save her life from a very awful people. Oh my god, Zaro! Hi! Hi, Zaro! Oh my god! Hello. From other awful people who tried to, use her. But Fortune was like, fuck off! Then he returns young Soul to, to her scientist, the father, and they end up becoming friends. And when they return to a destroyed house. Yeah, thank you. So they return to their house completely destroyed, and that puts the poor man into despair. So he basically just leaves his stepdaughter in the orphanage, and that's when Lord is like, alright, back on track. We got her into the Guardian training program. And during the program, she ends up having a relationship with Paulina. Which is somewhere. Here, with this girl, with this woman, they pretty much have a loving relationship, in fact, but, well, unfortunately, Howard decided to take a step in, and during one of the raids on one of his branches of the church, he pretty much, seduces her. And, well, while they do hit off, and, Howard for the first time actually feels something, like something causes and discuss and actually hope that maybe everything will be broken. She realizes that the person she's speaking with is a demon, so he's like, fuck. Well, at least she's pregnant also, And, Paulina finds out about this, and she gets very angry. They break up, and that also... Oh, thank you. They end up having a very violent breakup, like Paulina tried to fucking destroy the child by kicking Soul in the stomach. That's how much she wanted that child gone, but she ended up fucking regretting it. Which got Paulina expelled from the program, and, having to Soul to actually wait till the child is born and then abandon it in the orphanage. Even though, like, she didn't really want to. She didn't want to abandon the child. She thought she could at least carry it or fucking retire as well, considering, no, Paulina was expelled, but, they for some reason didn't want her to be expelled. And so, for a very suspicious reason why they didn't want her to be expelled. So she has to abandon her child move into another country, because, well, that incident happened in Belgrade, which is, this version of Russia. And yeah, I know Belgrade exists, but, like, and this is Serbia, but no, this is Russia. So the Guardian trial takes in another country, moves to another country, and that's when she finally reunites with Fortune, and, she only tells some of the stuff that she went through. She does admit the breakup, and she does admit that she had a child because she didn't want Fortune to be worried about her. Because back then, well, they didn't really have a romantic relationship back then, so they were just friends to whom she would frequently write to. But during the final trial, which is, the extermination of Devil of Gluttony, which turns out to be her fucking teacher, her teacher, her scientist stepfather. Which, well, he looks like this. And yeah, I'm sorry for the chibi form. I'm sorry. So she defeats this guy with her party, which is Fortune and Sage, and, well, she gets to live with Fortune now that the relationship have been upgraded. And now she gave gave birth to Lucy. Because, well, back then she gave birth, from Howlers, she gave birth to Saldana, which she had to abandon, and then to Lucy with Fortune. And actually, she told Fortune to retrieve the child from Belgrade at some point, because, well, she does really want to actually get her child back now that she is quote-unquote retired. And, you know, someday, but unfortunately that someday doesn't happen, because, well, she is forcibly retrieved to, you know, to become a guardian, even though she had technically retired. So the Fortune unfortunately does not follow on that promise, and only follows it up at the very worst moment. Fuck, my throat is feeling very dry. I'll BRB. I need to get myself water. Oof. Fuck, and I realized I fucking underestimated the length of my lore because I am fully bastardizing. You wrote the wrong sentence, yeah, you used the wrong sentence considering I'm not the one who is pissing. In fact, this is like my first tech break that is actually, you know, related to the needs and not because I have to move places. Like, I don't think I actually went to go take a fucking piss. I always make those take breaks because, well, they are take breaks. And this is like the first one because my throat was drying as shit. So yeah, this is lore, the main antagonist of Блять, Мукай! Maho! Basically, he's just a loser. He's an absolute fucking loser. Not only did he not fucking do his job correctly, which is, you know, preventing his siblings from ever peeing into the curtain, but also, you know, he just wants to leave, and that's a problem. Considering now everyone has to fucking suffer for his life. And so the main premise is that, you know, Soul has to quote-unquote defeat Lore at his game to prove that hope is existent, that hope is valid, and, you know, he should suck a dick. And, you know, stop bothering his fucking daughters. Because he literally just fucking wants to write some fucking doomed Yuri, but no one fucking likes it. And fuck, I really want to get into inspirations because I have a lot of inspirations for him. But again, I fucking underestimated how lengthy my explanations for characters are. And I feel quite tired like my throat is starting to dry up. And you know, I have like a lot of things to show. So again, maybe I'll do a dedicated post to list some of the, or at least a dedicated collage to list out all of his inspirations. Because he's very inspired. But the main ones that I will mention is that he is heavily inspired by the revelation that is, you know, the lamp with 7 seals, you know, that brings forth the apocalypse. He's also inspired by the serpent from Adam and Eve, you know, from the myth of creation. Albeit their laws are kind of reversed. Like if serpent actually tempted Eve to try out the fruit of knowledge, here he was supposed to got it, and it was Adam and Eve who tried to get him to, you know, please let us feast on that delicious fruit of knowledge. And he was like, okay, and then everyone fucking regretted it. Hell, God, which is technically me, doesn't really directly punish them. They technically punish themselves. Because, well, if they got embarrassed when they realized how naked they are, then they got way too existential when they realized how fake they are. Please. Yeah. Yeah, that's how they fucking approach their older sibling to let them peer behind the curtain. And they all fucking regretted it. Like 10 moments before disaster happened. But yeah, he's the one who perpetuates a lot of suffering. Just because he wants to live. This is astronomy. And well, this is the... And I think I actually got used to this design, because at first I didn't really like it, considering that's not what I had in mind at all. Like, yeah, the other side would be quite exposed, but, you know, the other side would have been more modest, you know, or at least less plain. But, you know, I just kinda got used to it, you know. Plus, here is exactly what I actually envision it to be. And the horns as well. Basically, Astrami was supposed to be the servant, or at least defected servant of Lore. But then I decided to make them the servant of Haures. And well, again, they're quite gullible. They're, like, despite the... Just because they have such a skewed view on everything, they just have no balance, you know? And, you know, given that Haurus is technically a way higher being than Astrame, they saw Haurus as, you know, flawless. Plus, it does help that Haurus decided to embody the aspect of truth, or true. So they started to believe every word that this Garfield says. And well, Astrami was supposed to be kind of a bit of an abandoned concept. Well, not really abandoned concept, but just, you know, they were supposed to represent a rather abandoned concept that they came up with, that I realized was kind of stupid and overcomplicated things than they should have been. And that's like, aftermath thingies. Which was basically, the part of they were supposed to be a part of lore that was still, kind. But it ended up not being that. So yeah. Plus, I just wanted to have a servant character for Howless. And I feel like this is my favorite illustration currently. This is just my favorite illustration. And it especially looks crispy in real life. But unfortunately, like, the photos just don't really do it justice. And Howless was literally appeared just because of Umineko. In fact, like, 3 Wise Kings are literally created just because of Umineko, and even then, I didn't fucking read Umineko. I just knew that there are demons such witches, like lore is very much inspired by Featherin Augustus. Basically by Featherin. Because, well, they're both turtle going. Howless was inspired by Flowers. In fact, that's how I actually learned of existence of Ars Goetia. Was literally because of Umineko. And I realized that, oh my god, we have a fucking an actual demonology, what the hell? And yeah, that's pretty much the inspiration for Howless. Even though, like, Dukes aren't exactly high on the pecking order of Ars Goetia. Yeah, maybe I could just say, well, Howless just became a Duke, to hide his true identity, his true motivations for his thingies. And also, another fun fact is that they both used to have ponytails. Both Lore and Howless. They were supposed to have their long hair tied up in a ponytail. Or at least a very loose ponytail. But I ended up scrapping it, just to give them much more older look. They are boomers after all. Massive boomers. And I realized that I should have had, him holding a sword, not a cane, considering, Lord already has cane. And this guy also has a cane, even though he doesn't really need it. He would rather hold his mighty sword, do you like my sword? And his wings were supposed to be actually black/dark purple. Sure, Grandpa, let's get you to bed. Yeah. This is what they need to... Both of them need to hear the most. They just need to go to fucking bed. And this is their younger sibling. The woman, the girlie. Elana, who became way too meta. Basically, she gained probably the most mindfuck out of everyone, and that she became way too overly aware. Because, Howless, despite, realizing that the world is fake, he didn't really realize the full extent of the truth, while Alana here actually realized it. And pretty much that's why she isn't fond of the actual player, but again, what can she do? She's a fictional character after all. She's not real. She cannot hurt you. Plus, she also realized the truth that technically she cannot die. and anyone cannot die as long as they are remembered. And that's the reason why Maho exists. But she does want to have the story to have a good ending, you know? Plus, I really like Deer. I'm sorry, but I really like Deer. I always wanted to create a deer character, considering I was always called a deer back when I was a child. And that is kinda explained with my Evenki heritage, which I have. And well, they eat a lot of deer meat. And overall, just a lot of deer imagery. So yeah. And she was supposed to have glasses as well, but I realized that they don't really look good on her now. So yeah. And I think I'll actually stick with this design. Like I wanted it to be much more of her homely design, but you know, once I actually started coloring, I decided, well, actually that looks good. That looks good. Wait, how many fucking characters do I have? I'm getting tired. Oh, my fortitude isn't what it was back then. And this is the fifth girl, Saldana, which is like our fifth main character. Not protagonist, just main character. Who is, you know, the quote-unquote abandoned daughter of Soul. Who pretty much ended up in her, like, being raised in her orphanage, and that orphanage just sucked. And it didn't help that she was relentlessly bullied by her peers for her very unorthodox looks, because, well, in quote-unquote Russia of Mako, it's very unusual to have bright orange hair and purple eyes. They would, at least in the area that they actually reside in, it would be actually common to have either brown, dark hair and dark brown eyes. You know, they're mostly Asians. Like, again, I am Asian, so you know. And where I live is just full of Asians, so you know. And well, she decided to escape her orphanage when she was marked for a death row due to being framed for the crimes she didn't commit. And you know, the orphanage decided to have her on death row, and she fucking escaped it. And she had to survive out in the streets and decided to flee the city, but she unfortunately gets caught by Paulina. Again, this woman, again, that's not how she usually looks. She actually has a coat. It's just, you know, her wrestling match outfit, you know. She loves wrestling. But yeah, she gets caught by Paulina, and after recognizing that this girl might actually be daughter of her ex, she decided to, for her atonement, considering after she got kicked out, expelled from the project, she ended up having a lot of regret and remorse. Like, she maybe jumped the gun a little bit too much. Again, Soul was manipulated by a demon, and demons, you know, fucking manipulate and shit. So she realized that, fuck, she might have jumped the gun on this. She might have just jumped the fucking gun. So she decided to raise Saldana as her daughter as an atonement for you know, for Sol. And she does end up really loving her as her daughter. And Saldana as well also really loves Paulina as her mother. But unfortunately they have to separate considering the conflict that happened. Basically, after the destruction of this major city in Surgil, which is like where Audrey fucking died, and where her retainers pretty much decided to do a massive genocide. After this, Belgrade decided to start a war by basically abolishing all the magic. And of course, no one is fucking chill with this. And well, as much as of it, how hypocritical it is of Paulina to persecute magic while also having, pretty much a magical daughter, she still wants to obey because it might actually, give a chance for Sedan to actually live normal, considering she is cursed. Also, yeah, I forgot. Basically, because she is a daughter of cowardice, she is cursed, and basically, she cannot redirect her magic towards any other conductor, and that's what happens when you get cursed. You cannot channel your magic through a weapon. You're basically forced to use your body, and her magic is concentrated on her palms, and well, she casts a very cold flames, like frostbites, because well, frostbites in Russian means freeze burn, and that's how it actually is. It's painful. It's very painful. As a person who сегодня тоже дэр. У меня был дэр второго. Кстати, привет. И твоей бабушке тоже с днем рождения. Так. Fuck, I got off track. Basically, because she cannot redirect her magic, she gets her palms burnt. And not really just burnt, they have like really ugly frostbite scars, frostbites just generally, the blackened hands. So it pretty much hurts her a lot. So Paulina is trying to find a way to get rid of her magic, and she is trying to organize an operation that would just replace her hands with mechanical hands. But ultimately, that would be too cruel. Even Paulina understands that. And when Paulina unfortunately loses in duel with Fortune, she tells Fortune to adopt Saldana, and that's when he fucking realizes what child Sol was talking about. And well, he is pretty much forced to take her under his wing, or technically take her into his village and be in that orphanage. And well, since the man who is dragging her away from her country is also her mother's murderer, she is obviously not okay. Well, stepmother's murderer, but still. And it takes a genuine while for her to actually acclimatize to Praia. And she still doesn't forgive Fortune for what he has done, but she is much more friendly towards Brian young children, Brian residents, with exception of Fortune. Considering again, he did really murder her stepmom, her very much beloved stepmom. And unfortunately, I don't really have too much time or motivation to actually go through it, so I'll just quickly show you some arts and just tell you who those characters are. This is Devil of Gluttony, who I mentioned to be an adopted father of Soul, the scientist, who was pretty much tempted by Flowers to join his troop of sinners. Also, yeah, Flowers also has his rogue galleries. It's not only just Astrama being his right-hand man or a woman. He also has, 7 deadly devils. And, well, Welze. And yeah, I fucking remember what his name was. When I was describing the backstory of, well, when I'm making the post about Elaine's origins, I forgot what his name was, but then I fucking remembered this. It was supposed to be Welze. And well, he is hungry for knowledge. That's about it. This is his daughter, or at least his revived daughter, which is Viloni, who is kinda meant to be kind of a play on the brainless scarecrow. And there would be also Cerberus and the Tin Man, but that's later. That's a Devil of Lust in her much more casual dressing. Also, that's when I had more or less Soul's Anatomy, Jesus Christ. But overall, she's probably the most amicable of the devils. Again, she's just, no, not really lustful, more so fucking vengeful, because, well, her country is also very much mangled and fangled, and her family was killed, so, But overall, she is amicable. She is more or less, can be reasoned with. This is Paulina. This is the current emperor of the Kitsune clan. And the Devil of Lust, when she was still alive, she was pretty much, was the concubine that gave birth to this little boy. And I tried making him, femboyish, but I ended up just making just a dude, which is not something that I like. That's like the sketch for the cover of the art book, where I explain the various design details and name details. This is one of my older characters for my old project that I had, like my first project, and pretty much the beginning of everything. But technically her modern redesign. Also of the very first project. This is Ichigo again. Also, yeah, the current name's is Ichigo, and the Devils of Lost is named Yachio. This is her again, but with pants. The bull lady. This Celine, Shiria, Rumia. And I think that this bull lady was called Temper, but I forgot. Also, yeah. What other? Sage drawing when she was still called Sora. And as you can see, she has wings. But that's from her husband. She pretty much helps her to fly. To actually, traverse the world. Also, yeah, that chest style thingy. The reference cutscene. This is Elana's old design. This is Momosuke. And sorry for the very flipped image, I'm sorry. This is, Elyria being, punished. Well, technically, those are my old illustration. And this was made for my practice. Like, I want to practice something. Practice the knowledge that I gained from being at the camp. At the art camp. And I decided to draw Elyria. This is Clockman's old... Well, technically not old, but his winter/autumn outfit, and he had a very different blade. But that's how he actually is. That's how his waist coat looks like when it's not on the waist. This is just sketches. That's my attempt at redesigning Sterling, and I realized that maybe I could have made pants much more thinner. But I will try to work on his design a little bit more. This is a very low quality image of Laurel and what's under his curtain. This is, just a sketch of Elana with her old hairstyle. And this is all with also technically her old design, but at the same time, I realized how many bits I actually got right, because I didn't have access to this image, so I had to improvise. And I'm genuinely surprised by how close it was to the original rendition. And this is old Astrama's design back when they were called Astrasis. Because back then they were named Nemesis, but I thought that was a really lame name, so I decided to change it. And I stumbled across another god of justice who is related to stars. I forgot her name. And this is the sprites that I made for my hypothetical game. Currently they're not functional. And this is how Audrey looks regularly. As when she's not trying to summon a demon. Her more or less everyday clothes. And fun fact, I actually have this art printed on my mug. And this is like the best decision I could have ever made. Because basically I was asked to send in the photo of myself. But since I'm really averse to showing my face. Well, that was during school. Like 8th of March being, International Women's Day. And, guys were preparing the gifts for us. And, I was approached to send in the photo of myself. But because I not only had no photos of myself, but also... So I was just this averse to actually presenting my photos. I decided to send in this art. And with this caption. because I thought it might not be visible. But then I realized, but when I actually received the gift, which is the mark, like, again, I would not fucking imagine that I would even use this mark if I actually had my face on it. I'm not really fond of staring at myself, especially in photos. I only like staring myself at the mirror, since that's it. But, you know, having your own art be printed on a mark is just so metal. Like, this is the best decision I've ever made. And that's like by accident. Like, the only regret that I have is that, you know, the quote is visible, perfectly visible, and on the backside is literally the same quote. Like, I could have actually used a different quote, but still. And that kinda concludes it. We are back at square one. Oh, and my old Toho fan art, of course. Again, it's amazing how far I went. I really wanted to actually tell you guys much more, you know, to actually give out a lot of inspiration bases and all that. But fuck, I actually got tired. Like, my throat is very sore. And well, I really want to go to sleep now. So... thank you everyone who attended this birthday stream, even though it's very scuffed. Like, I could have prepared for it much better. But I am glad that I got to actually talking about my quote-unquote passion. Oh, thank you, Zaro, thank you. And, you know, again, after I'll actually finish this video, because again, I have technically finished it, I just need to actually fine-tune the timing. I'll actually, you know, start slowly working on actually making the game, you know. People are actually kinda want to have it, you know. Maybe. At least some of you. And it has been a dream for quite a while of mine. Ever since I was graced with Matt Rosak. And yes, I was inspired to indie game not by Zone or Jinx or whatever. I was fucking inspired by Matt Rosak of Epic Battle Fantasy fame. So yeah, that's the man who inspired me to indie game. And well, again, Black Souls actually got me back into actually trying to make an RPG, so you know. But yeah, thank you for giving my stories a chance. After all, I thought that not many would actually care to, you know, read it all out, considering how lengthy they are, and you know how fucking deep it can be. But I am glad. I am very glad that you guys are reading, you know, actually engaged with them. That's actually warms my heart. That's actually warms my heart a lot. So yeah. So goodbye everyone. Again, thank you for being on the stream. And I didn't expect Zaro to be here, so yeah. Also, thank you, Zaro. Thank you. And goodbye.